The controversy surrounding the Alaskan Bush People. Since its premiere in 2014, the Discovery Channel reality television series, Alaskan Bush People has garnered attention for its portrayal of an unconventional lifestyle. Many people view the lives of the Brown family, who are the subject of the episode, as distinct from contemporary living. Their decisions and behavior have generated a lot of controversy, with some people doubting the veracity of their on-screen personas. They have frequently maintained their public prominence through their responses to public scandals and their demonstration of their seclusion. Some of the program's scenes have been accused of being faked. The family has also been involved in legal issues, which raises questions about their level of ties to Alaskan wilderness life. For those interested in learning more about the series' lesser-known aspects, Examining the Browns' Most Talked About Choices explains why the Alaskan Bush People have continued to be a contentious topic in the reality TV industry, and why Noah Brown is currently at the center of controversy. A number of Brown family members were accused of fraud in 2014 in relation to the dividend program of the Alaska Permanent Fund. Billy Brown, Joshua Bam Bam Brown, and other individuals were charged with making fraudulent claims to reside in Alaska, when, in reality, they were not. The family was found to have gotten thousands of dollars in dividends that they were not entitled to by the court. A guilty plea to second-degree unsworn falsification was entered by Joshua and Billy. Each individual was given a 30-day jail sentence and mandated to perform community service by the court. This incident raised concerns regarding the family's actual time spent in Alaska, and if the life depicted on the show was accurate. Legal conflicts in 20,120 extended beyond the initial accusations of fraud. Billy Brown and the production business were sued by Robert Mann and Alaska Wilderness Family Productions. Among other things, the accusations alleged breach of contract. According to Mann, the show's producers did not distribute the agreed-upon earnings to Alaskan Bush People. He added that a financial agreement had been reached for the usage of his intellectual property. Documents revealed that the contested sum exceeded $500,000. The case raised questions regarding transparency and trust between partners, and brought attention to the intricate business agreements in reality television. Private settlements are reached in many of these cases, and the outcomes are not always disclosed to the public. Bear Brown encountered legal issues related to his personal life in March 2022. Raven Adams, his ex-partner, claimed threats and erratic behavior, and asked for a restraining order. Bear was placed under temporary custody after the court became involved. The issue received extensive media coverage and contributed to the public discussion over the family's behavior away from the spotlight. Records reveal that certain legal matters related to restraining orders and private disputes are handled carefully because they are delicate. Both their way of living and the choices taken during the series' creation have drawn a lot of attention to the Brown family. Family disputes, problems with bad habits, and conflicts with the network have led to arguments and sparked doubts about the veracity of what is depicted on television. On and off screen, family relationships have frequently been strained. Sibling arguments and Billy and Amy's parenting styles created poignant scenes that evoked powerful responses from viewers. There were occasionally noticeable rifts in unity brought on by the demands of living, apart from contemporary society and continuous filming. As they grew older and contemplated alternative options, some of the kids voiced discontent with their positions or the family's direction. Occasionally, these arguments surfaced in interviews or on social media, which fueled conjecture about more serious issues. Many viewers questioned whether all of the turmoil was spontaneous or staged for entertainment purposes, even though the show depicted these moments as part of its plot. When Matt Brown, the eldest son, left the series in 2016, his personal battle with alcohol consumption was made public. His departure sparked rumors and anxiety. Later, Matt acknowledged that he had checked himself into a treatment facility to deal with his drinking. As a public figure, this was a significant moment for him and the family. His absence was barely mentioned in passing in the series, which occasionally opted not to delve too deeply into the subject. Public accounts of his recuperation showed that he struggled with family relationships and had times when he remained solitary. One of the most talked about and significant issues associated with the Browns was his battle with substance abuse. The Brown family and the Discovery Channel crews occasionally disagreed about what would be shot and how their life would be presented on the show. They occasionally objected to concepts that they believed violated their privacy or went against their morals, or to scenarios the producers wanted staged. According to accounts from those close to the show, as the series gained popularity and the demand to develop certain plot lines increased, There were discussions and disputes about who should have authority over the final narrative. These disputes fueled discuss how sections of Alaskan bush people were staged or changed, making viewers unclear of the boundaries between production and actual life. Some questioned how completely the Browns separated themselves from contemporary society from the beginning. Some important sequences, such constructing shelters, hunting, or overcoming great obstacles, have been criticized by viewers for being contrived. Critics cited instances in which the family was allegedly assisted by crew members or other laborers, such as while building Browntown, their famous homestead. Instead of living exclusively in the Alaskan wilderness, there were rumors that the Browns occasionally stayed in homes or motels, like the Icy Strait Lodge. In addition, some reported seeing the family using technology or shopping when there was no filming going on. The constant presence of cameras, staff, and planned production made many question how much of what viewers witnessed actually occurred naturally. Despite the fact that they encountered periods of genuine difficulties, the idea that the Browns lived in complete seclusion was also called into doubt by their interactions with neighboring towns. Locals claimed to have seen the family in shops and other places around town. Despite the fact that the series depicted them as being socially isolated, there have also been reports of the family participating in public events, or their kids attending nearby schools. Although Browntown was supposed to represent independence, some questioned whether the program's depiction of their lifestyle reflected reality, because they lived in more upscale accommodations and made use of local resources. Their public narrative also included health issues. The family's life were profoundly impacted when Billy Brown, the head of the household, received a lung cancer diagnosis. The series closely followed the family's attention on his care and treatment during that time. Some viewers responded sympathetically, while others questioned whether such intimate interactions should be captured on television. Billy's death in 2021 marked a sea change in the program's history, and a significant loss for the family. The series also featured dangerous events, such as explosions and accidents. A few of these resulted in hospital stays and persistent health problems. They became popular plot points, but they also sparked debate about whether safety regulations had been broken, or whether the risks were exaggerated. These occurrences contributed to the ongoing discussion about the program's responsibility and accuracy in depicting events. Additionally, the family's frequent migrations attracted notice. They left Alaska to receive treatment at the University of California, Los Angeles Medical Center after Amy Brown was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2017. They then made Washington their permanent home. This shift, which was motivated by medical need, changed their lifestyle and sparked additional inquiries about the veracity of their off-grid persona. But at the heart of these terrible outcomes is Noah Brown, who nobody saw coming, leaving the family's homestead. One of the 7 kids in the Discovery Channel series, Alaskan Bush People, Noah Brown, was regarded as the family's creative and considerate member. Starting in 2014, the show followed the Browns as they lived off the grid, initially in the Alaskan wilderness and then in Washington. Natural calamities, shifting family dynamics, personal aspirations, and a need to rely on himself led him to abandon the family property. This decision evolved over time and represented his desire to forge a life distinct from his family's common route. His decision to move to Colorado in 2019 was an early indication of his transition to independence. This was done in part to provide people some personal space and to escape the close-knit family environment. With so many family members living together, the homestead, which is shown on television as a place of survival and unity, may also feel cramped. Noah reportedly spent some time in a guest cabin on the property after being ordered to leave the main family area. He was able to reflect on his place in the family and his identity away from the continual group living during this time apart. In addition, the Browns Ranch in Washington suffered significant damage in 2020 due to a wildfire on Palmer Mountain. Things and structures that had been built over years were gone. The fire caused emotional suffering and rocked the foundations of their way of life. Noah was forced to concentrate on safety and rebuilding in his own way after realizing how unpredictable the homestead could be. While thinking about long-term plans, he moved into a leased house following the fire. The catastrophe strengthened his conviction that he required a secure and self-sufficient residence. These effects were exacerbated by Billy Brown's death in 2021. Billy had been the family's leader and the one who influenced their bush lifestyle. His death created a void in the family and altered the sibling relationships. Having always been imaginative and pragmatic, Noah was profoundly affected by this loss. It made him consider beginning a new chapter, in which he could uphold his father's principles, while also developing personally. He started to heal after establishing some distance from the homestead, which became associated with grief. Noah was back in Alaska by 2023. This time, he chose to do it on his own initiative, because he wanted to recreate the independent life he had known as a child. He had a fresh start in Alaska, far from the burned-out and family-shifted property in Washington. Having his own place and timetable is ideal for his creative work with mechanics and ideas. However, he may have chosen to live apart in order to avoid conflict and pursue his own beliefs due to differing opinions about the family's future and way of life. Moments throughout the show demonstrated Noah's independence. He demonstrated that he was prepared to live away from the family in later seasons by searching for houses and making crucial choices during storms. He demonstrated that he could use what he had learned while still pursuing his own objectives by frequently assisting other bush families, even if it meant altering his own plans. Using his abilities in his own manner, leaving the homestead was a logical move forward rather than a retreat from his past. Noah Brown's choice to depart was influenced by both external circumstances and personal requirements. He had time to reflect during his stay in Colorado. The urge for change became more pressing after the 2020 wildfire and the death of his father, and he returned to Alaska in 2023 in pursuit of stability and self-reliance. He left in order to continue living according to the principles he had been taught, but in a manner that suited his own circumstances. His journey demonstrated how familial bonds may evolve over time, and how maintaining such bonds can involve finding one's own place. In addition to abandoning the homestead, he also had legal problems with his sibling, which led to a certain amount of sibling animosity. Legal issues with siblings. A petition for an order of protection against Noah's sister, Merry Christmas, Catherine Raindrop, and Rain Brown was submitted on August 5, 2024, by Noah Brown and his wife, Rain Brown, whose maiden name is Alicia. The United States Sun reported that the couple requested protection from what they said was illegal harassment. They claimed that Rain caused significant mental anguish by stalking and threatening violence, including purposeful threats involving a gun or other weapon. Noah detailed a number of purported events involving his sister in court filings. Noah also recounted a different incident from May 2023, when he was assisting the family in moving horses to their North Star Ranch, claiming that one of the horses looked malnourished, and that because Rain and their sister Snowbird would not follow his advice on proper transportation, one of the horses fell in the trailer and was unable to get up on her own. He said that in July 2022, Rain told him, "My life would be so much easier if you were dead. If only I had not gotten caught. I think that my gun is in my room." Rain told him to stop after explaining what needed to be done to help the horse, saying she would rather the horse die than listen to him, and threatening to take her gun if he didn't wait in his truck. Noah claimed he spent the remainder of the time in his truck and found out the following day that the horse had died. Additionally, Noah accused Rain of drinking alcohol, using cocaine and methamphetamine, and offering cocaine to their mother, Amy Brown, in December 2023 to treat a headache or migraine. In their petition, Noah and Rain requested that the court order Rain to give up all firearms, stop her from acquiring new weapons, and forbid her from having any kind of contact with them, whether directly or indirectly, including through third parties. In December 2024, Rain publicly addressed the issue, saying in a since-deleted video posted to Instagram, "Honestly, his little sister who struggles with mental health and suicidal thoughts should be the last person he would attack." They also requested that she not be permitted to come within 1,000 feet of them or post anything negative about them online. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And keep in mind that God and Jesus believe you are perfect, so don't let anyone make you feel unworthy. All I can hope for is that he gets over whatever is causing him to snap. I'm sorry, Noah, but you no longer like me. Happy Christmas. In any case, Noah's plea for a restraining order was turned down in September of 2012. Through online records, In Touch verified that the court determined the petition was devoid of adequate facts and was not backed up by a properly filed declaration. According to the documentation, the petition was basically blank, save for mentions of Noah Brown's C declaration, and the instances detailed were too distant in time to support the issuance of a temporary restraining order, without giving any advance warning. The court pointed out that the identical outcome would be obtained if the petition were to be resubmitted without these problems fixed. Neither Rain nor Noah appeared to have resisted their request. The twins' story grabbed headlines once more in the first several months of 2025. On the television show, Alaskan Bush People, Noah Brown called the police to ask for a welfare check on his sister. Merry Christmas Catherine Raindrop, also known as Rain Brown, and his mother, Amy Brown. Rain had been arrested for burglary just days before he accused them of smoking methamphetamine. Noah informed authorities that his mother was residing at a cabin in Liars Cove with Rain and Rain's lover, Josiah Lorton, according to court documents quoted by the U.S. Sun on Monday, April 28, 2025. After hearing what he described as a fragmented message from his mother the previous evening, he claimed to have learned that she had been drinking excessively and was currently using methamphetamine that Rain and Josiah had provided. On April 7, police conducted the welfare check. Noah informed them that his 61-year-old mother's health was deteriorating and that she was no longer taking her prescribed medication. As previously reported by In Touch, Amy was diagnosed with pneumonia and transported for medical care on February 13. According to court filings, Josiah had firearms even though he was not allowed to have them, and Rain was stopping her mother from taking her medication. Officers informed Noah on April 8 that although they had not been able to contact his mother, they had good grounds to suspect that she was with Rain, 22, and Josiah. Noah reported to the police that Rain frequently neglected to take her own medication and thought that anyone attempting to get her to do so was working against her. Josiah was always known to be armed, he added. Noah also said that Rain had stolen a pistol from him. He asked authorities to use caution when approaching her, but he did not want to record it as stolen. On April 11, 2025, Rain Brown and her husband, Josiah Lorton, were taken into custody and charged with first-degree burglary and first-degree malicious mischief. The Discovery Channel alum was also accused of second-degree criminal trespass at the time. According to In Touch, the pair was arrested and taken to Washington State's Okanogan County Jail. On April 14, 2025, they were both later freed without posting bail. At the time, the specifics of what caused their detention were not made public. But on May 20, 2025, In Touch verified via court filings that they were arrested after allegedly taking $75,000 in cash, firearms, and other goods from Josiah's uncle, Jason Ayert. Rain entered a not guilty plea to all counts when she appeared in court via Zoom on April 28, 2025. In addition, Josiah entered a not guilty plea to every accusation. In May 2025, both are anticipated to make another court appearance. On April 19, 2025, Rain addressed the issue on Instagram, albeit it was unclear if she was referring to the incident. She shared a passage from the Bible that said, "Judge not, lest ye be judged, because you will be judged according to the judgment you use." She said in her caption that it broke her heart to see her followers take her statements as falsehoods from her previous manager, whom she accused of mistreating her and taking $43,000. She concluded by saying, "God bless y'all." In addition to these brothers' legal issues, Noah was also dealing with personal issues, which led to an unexpected heartbreak, the painful separation. She hoped that her audience would wait to hear her side of the story. Noah Brown hasn't talked much about his family or personal life. He was frequently regarded by Alaskan Bush people as the family's creative thinker. He was frequently shown working on different devices, which led some people to liken him to Dr. Frankenstein sans the monster. Some viewers questioned how the Brown children would find partners at the start of the series. Noah has a reputation for being romantic and never gave up on finding love. While the family was still residing in Alaska, Noah got to know Rain Alicia. She had received messages from him inviting her to come to Browntown. Only 25 people attended their 2018 wedding, the most of whom were close relatives and friends. Noah thanked everyone for their love and support at the moment, telling People magazine that they were thrilled to begin their life together as husband and wife, and looked forward to creating memories as their own family. Noah's sisters, Bird Brown and Rain Brown, did not welcome Rain. Rain did not like that after relocating to the mountain. Rain adopted her name. Some people felt that Rain, whose real name was Ruth Alicia Merrill, did not belong because she was raised in Oregon. Although Noah and Bird had always been close, his sister and his wife's relationship started off tense. Noah, on the other hand, made Bird the godmother of his kid, Eli Brown, in an attempt to make things better. In 2019, Noah and Rain made the decision to relocate to Colorado in order to spend more time apart from their family. Noah recently said that he and Rain had made the decision to take some time apart, even though they have moved away from the family homestead. They wanted people to hear it straight from them. He added in a post on his Instagram account. They had decided to divorce after 6 years of marriage. Noah, who was seated with Rain at the announcement, clarified that he was now residing in their guest cabin after being ordered to vacate. He claimed that as long as he messaged first to confirm that it was okay, he could still visit their two sons, Eli and Adam. Rain recalled moments when Noah had returned to Alaska and said that being away might make the heart grow fonder. The scope of it, she claimed, was that they had a lot to work through. Rain added that they were working together to resolve the issue and that they weren't there to disparage one another. Now that Noah had his own timetable and space and was not under her stress, she thought he was healthier. She also mentioned that she felt more at ease in the house since she could do things on her own without requesting help from Noah. According to her, Noah continued to spend a lot of time with the kids. Noah said he would attempt to keep people updated as they navigate their separation, but he didn't say much in the second portion of their announcement. Rain went on to say that she will not be providing any updates. The legacy of the reality program is indisputable and speaks to the diversity of American culture, even in light of the tragic events that have befallen the Brown family. The Bush People of Alaska's legacy. Alaskan Bush people created a lasting impression on reality television by fusing intimate family ties with wilderness survival, serving as a model for other programs that highlight living outside of urban areas. It influenced similar series that focus on tough independence and helped popularize the style of extreme lifestyle programs. Its lengthy 14-season run demonstrated how viewers were drawn to tales of humans constructing homes, locating food, and overcoming the difficulties presented by nature, with special episodes honoring Billy Brown's beliefs about freedom and adventure. His passing gave the series more emotional weight. These incidents reaffirmed themes of loss and legacy that are common in American tales of tenacity. As a result, the performance became more intimate and reflected enduring familial ties in trying times rather than merely being an outdoor entertainment. The series uses the frontier myth, which is based on the concept of westward expansion and the pioneer way of life, to connect with aspects of American identity, much like earlier American stories about pioneers. By portraying the Browns as distinct from contemporary conveniences, it appeals to a shared desire for a more straightforward existence, in contrast to expanding cities and consumer society. The show offered viewers a sense of escape during difficult economic times and periods of high digital technology use, by portraying forest living as liberating rather than taxing. This relates to actual homesteading and sustainable living initiatives that gained popularity following the 2008 financial crisis, and again during the COVID-19 outbreak, when a large number of individuals relocated to rural areas. The Browns' emphasis on bartering, maximizing resources, and voicing opinions critical of the government, as demonstrated in instances concerning land disputes, reflects concepts of individual liberty present in some facets of American political philosophy, and illustrates the conflict between freedom and social norms. Additionally, the show influenced how individuals observe rural America and native Alaskan customs, occasionally in ways that spark controversy. By portraying Alaska's scenery as exciting and alluring, it attracted tourists to national parks and distant excursions, increasing travel to the state. It was criticized at the same time for distorting or oversimplifying indigenous cultures' skills, including those of the Tlingit and Yupik peoples. According to some, it maintained a wild frontier image, while ignoring the reality of contemporary indigenous living and the unequal distribution of power in the media industry. This relates to broader concerns in America over the representation of culture, where prevailing narratives frequently replace underrepresented perspectives, sparking debates about authenticity and justice in entertainment. The family was also highlighted in the series as an important aspect of American culture. Despite their differences, the Browns' tight ties demonstrated strength and unity values that are cherished in American traditions. From the Ingalls family in Little House on the Prairie to modern survivalist organizations, the porous boundaries in reality television were brought to light by concerns about the veracity of the content, such as assertions that certain scenes were staged and that the family lived closer to towns than depicted, like arguments about false news and diminished trust in institutions. These doubts were a reflection of a larger societal suspicion of the media. Legal problems, such as accusations of fraud against family members, further exposed the discrepancy between the reality and the presentation, demonstrating how the survival image can coexist with the difficulties of real-world activity. Local communities experienced social and economic repercussions from the series, which occasionally put additional strain on tiny towns, while also generating jobs during filming. Additionally, it brought mental health into the public eye by having cast members like Rain Brown talk about anxiety, which resonated with America's growing emphasis on isolation and health and well-being. Because it combined themes of independence, familial loyalty, and cultural inquiries, Alaskan Bush People ultimately continues to be discussed nationally, sustaining the long-standing American desire to start over in the wilderness. Do you believe that Noah's divorce from his wife was influenced by the Brown family crisis? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, like, and share this channel. Watch the other videos on your screen before you leave.